Is level even real? No. It's a fake level. Beverly Hills Ninja? That might be the best ninja movie of all time. I do remember that one. Dude, I used to see every Chris Farley movie. Chris Farley might have been like the first celebrity to die where I was like, felt like it impacted me. Ah, we're in there. We are in there, baby. Clear, check, yeah, motherfucking ta. That level's super fun. I'm actually really proud of that one. 1W4PT8TFF. That is the level code right there. Go out, play it, have fun, or don't, you know. Let's go through the level though one more time. So we started off like every level has to start with a clear long jump. Like if you make a 3D world level, you got to start it with a long jump. So I knew I wanted to make a don't touch the ground level, and I wanted to start it with a long jump, and I needed to get a shell like involved right away. So this was like the one way I could think of it. It's just like long jump into a box and then bonk the shell. After that, I wanted constant shells. Oh man. Can we just beat it? Hold on. Can we just beat it twice? You're good enough to beat this. So I wanted constant shells. I needed something to do. So like right here, so we wanted a long jump. I needed something to interact with it. So we put that on-off switch right there. So you could do that kind of like free bonk move. And the reason I wanted to do that is because right at the beginning of any level of the clear condition, I wanted to have like a completely free move, because you can't really see what Mario's doing right at the beginning of a level with a clear condition. So I needed something that was just like, it just happens. You know what I mean? You just like long jump, hold jump, and then that's it. Like that's all you need to do. So that's the reason why I did it that way. Right over here, I was kind of just like, this was the first part I made. So I was literally just like, all right, what can I do after the naked turtle jumps out? I know, I'll put a big fat turtle, we'll wall jump up, and then we'll have, you know, we'll throw the turtle into a pipe. I didn't really know what to do past this. What I did was I saw that the turtle would kind of like shoot out instead of me jumping on it. Because originally I was just going to jump on the turtle is what I thought. But I realized that the turtle was coming out quick and it was shooting out. So I was like, all right, well, let's put another pipe in it. And I kind of was trying to figure out what I could do with that other pipe. And then I came up with the, like this like ground pound cancel move. And this is all pretty like easy to set up because it's all based on your speed. All right, so after that, I realized I would be kind of deep into a pit, and I wanted to have the ground pound cancel go backwards. And the reason I want to have the ground pound cancel go backwards and not forwards is because if you're doing it forward, like doing it this way, originally that's how I had it. But if you like ground pound cancel like in this like 3-block radius, for some reason the shell is like still active. It's really, really weird, and it'll kill you. So that's why I ended up wanting to come like all the way down here and have the shell like bounce off your ass and back. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So right here, you can see this setup. This is just a, you know, simple like bomb spiny setup to get that first shell. And then another one right here that lands on top of these, like, what do you want to call them? Like dry bone buckets? I don't really know what to call this, like a dry bone bucket. But these just basically allow you to jump off the dry bones and grab the shell. Kind of similar to like the mole setups that they use in like Super Mario World or Mario 3 in a lot of levels. Yeah. And I gotta admit, this section right here is probably my least favorite section of the level, just because I really wish I didn't shell jump to get them up. But I couldn't think of like another intuitive way that was shell related to make it happen. I tried things like having the naked turtle, like after I jumped out of it, the naked turtle would like shoot into a pipe and then back up, and I just couldn't get it to like work out. So I stuck with like the simple shell jump. That's fine. We have the practice door right there. The next thing I wanted to do was test them on a shell jump with the plant. Shell jump with a plant is kind of like a shell spring jump in Mario World, like the regular Mario World. So that's why we did it that way. Right here we have this like people mover, and that's going to kind of like reclaim this shell that we use. So this shell is going to be used to shell jump off here. It's going to come down here, go into the pipe. You're going to wall drag that shell, and then, you know, throw it into this bucket. Boom, boom, boom. Easy peasy. And that's going to lead us into the sponge juggle. Now, the sponge juggle is kind of a play off things that... Ooh, I need to get there. It's kind of a play off like the juggles that Space Pig has had in his levels and Panga had in his shell level. I originally wanted to do it with a big shell because it's like super easy to do the juggle with a big shell, and so we could do it for a really long time because I wanted to make it like a really long juggle section. And originally I had it to where you were just juggling on the right wall in the center forever, but that was easy. Like you could just juggle on that right wall forever. So eventually, like late at night, like 1:30 in the morning last night, I came up with this idea to have it going back and forth. And what that allows is about every third juggle has to be on one side. If I juggle just on the right forever, you'll lose the shell. It'll just dump itself into the pit. See? And if you juggle on the left forever, it'll dump itself into the pit eventually. So after this is kind of just like a simple section. We're using the falling spiny off the ceiling to go into a double jump and then a triple shell jump. 5 shell jumps in a row. It's just to like test consistency. One thing I want to note right here is we use this people mover to keep this guy looking one way. We wanted to keep him looking like that direction all the time, and that just makes his like fall go consistently. And we use this little like lump right there to make sure we never got hit by the shell. And that just takes some of the jank out. And that leads us to the double shell jump. Right here, what we did is I just put a ice block, and that way when you go underneath it, the ice block activates, kills the what is that? Kills the regular brick. That drops. Boom, we got a new wall. Good stuff. Good stuff. 5 shell jumps. Now the way we did these, like dumping these shell jumps right here. So you go underneath this POW. This is kind of a little like setup that I stole from Space Pig again. I go underneath this one, and that activates the POW, which drops that spiny. And then when I go underneath the next swamp, it hits that brick and shoves the spiny in, and it just, you know, works. What's cool about this type of setup is you can make it really consistent as long as you kind of like keep your momentum going at the same speed. And that's why you kind of force the player to have the same speed right here every time. Like that's why you do it off this shell jump, because then this shell will always be on there. It'll always be ready to go, and it'll always have the same speed. For this one, we just do it again. This is actually the last shell, and then we use the simple brick for the second shell. Luckily it just spawns in perfectly. This was kind of a luck thing that like second one spawned in perfectly. Yeah, so moving past that, let's move past that. Right here for this one, I wanted to do another like shell drop-in section. The original idea for this was I wanted to get 3 shells in play, and we have to use them for a bunch of different things, but it just didn't really come to fruition. Like it didn't really end up working. So instead I used kind of that same setup on the first one and just like did that weird like ground pound cancel thing twice. I put this this guy to make sure. Oh my god, I didn't put bricks underneath there. That's ugly as fuck. That's fine, not a big deal. So I put a trampoline in there and did this kind of like, because I did the ground pound cancel thing twice, and I noticed that it was ricocheting off but then kind of like dragging here. So I put the trampoline. It magically worked. After that, it was just kind of reworking this section till this pipe was long enough to where I could jump off this shell and hold right but not hold run. And the reason we use the regular turtle instead of the spiny turtle for this one is because anytime the spiny turtle drops on you and you're not holding run, you die from it. Yeah, you die from it. So this was just kind of like you know, this section was just working around what I was doing on this section. So since we had the turtle out there anyway, you know hit the turtle. You know grab this turtle shell right here. Where you at? So you're gonna no grab this turtle shell into there, and then hit the naked turtle into that pipe. At the same time, that turtle shell knocks this spiny up, so you'll be able to grab that. The naked turtle goes in there. You grab it, you know, you jump off it, you have the spiny. You throw the spiny left, right? And then it comes down to this section. Now, this section was really weird because I had no idea, like, what I wanted to do in this section. All I knew was that I needed to get from this point to the end point because I knew what the end was going to be. So from here, I was just kind of figuring out, like, what can I do to make this section work? And kind of my go-to when I didn't know what to do with the shell was just, like, put one of the clear pipes around it and, you know, use the clear pipe to kind of manipulate the shell into doing what I wanted to do. So I just kind of put a clear pipe down. And I realized that if you kind of do this perfect move right here, this perfect, like, shell, or sorry, this perfect, like, ground pound cancel delay, that you could spit the turtle back into the same pipe and kind of reclaim it. So once I realized that that was possible, I just was like, all right, we have to do that. So that was a simple, like, you know, a simple fix, a simple solution. Once we got it working easy, it ended up being pretty damn consistent. So I was like super stoked. Right here, this was just like a simple way to delay this plant going down. And that way you couldn't, like, cheese it doing anything like weird, like jump off the shell early or whatever. It just kind of delayed the plant being there. And that was all I really wanted to do. This final one, I just wanted a final section to go into this, like, I just wanted something really fast to go into this final section. So we kind of reused something that we used earlier in the level. Now this was actually the very first move I had in this level, was this, like, ground pound cancel off the spiny jump. And it sucks. It's such bullshit. It's so horrible. But to try and make it as consistent as possible, I knew I wanted to shove the player into a very specific spot. There we go. And that's what I wanted to do. So that's why we kind of created this little, like, 2-wall barrier that goes down into a 1-wall barrier so you can get momentum. And then jumping off this blooper right here. And basically that allows you to just kind of shove yourself in the corner. And that's when the thing will fall. And then you can perform the trick. This is kind of like the only trolley part, is that I have this ledge right here to catch you if you're short. And then the flag will disappear and it'll be really funny. And then you get some farts. And that's really the only troll I had. And it's not really a troll so much as it is just like, haha, you suck. So yeah, that's it. That's the level. That's all the mechanics behind it and all the little machines that make it work. I hope you play it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that helps. It's a pretty cool level. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one.